right, first play here, Niner. You had a comment on this formation.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the ideal formation. We don't have the best angle, but the point is that when we're still in the first quarter, we need to warn early when it comes to formations. Make sure we get on them early and talk to them, the players and the coaches also. Let them know that they need to move up. We can get up.
Yeah, this is one of the advantages to a radio too, because if you're the short wing on this side here, it's the other team on the other side who's having the iffy formation here. So not only talking to this player, but communicating that to your other wing official so he can get to the coach in a timely manner and hopefully get that corrected.
And we talked to the coaches before the game because we knew that they had an issue with this in the past. So it was already an area of focus.
And obviously they took you seriously and corrected it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we did work with them, and
that's all you can do.
At least in my book, as long as they react every time we tell them, then it starts to slide again. But then we tell them again, and they react again.
Well, it also takes the argument away if you don't talk to them. Their argument's going to be back to you as, why didn't you say something to me? I would have fixed it.
Yeah, thanks. Well,
we did talk to you, Coach. We talked to the players. Yeah. So it gets to the point that you have to put a flag down. Yeah. You've taken away all their alibis.
Yeah. All right. Next item on this play is the long snap, which is a little off, and then is this still a kicking motion? And even though he takes a step, I was using all of my brain power at that point. I was comparing it to one of the clips in the training tape, in the IFAF training tape on roughing the kicker. But as you can see, I have a flag down. So I decided that even though he moves, he takes a step to the side, the ball's on the ground, this is still straight into a kicking motion. So he is still protected. That was my decision. So there comes the flag. You guys agree with that?
I agree with that. It's difficult for him to go into his kicking motion any quicker than what he does. So we have to say that this is good. This is quick enough.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
And then of course I completely, like I said, I was using all of my brain power to decide on the roughing the kicker. And then after the play, funny whistles, of course. And then I go on the radio very quickly to say that I've got roughing the kicker, which enables the linesman to come in and ask me, well, wasn't the kick blocked? And right away, something clicks. And I said, of course it was. Why didn't I think of that? And we end up waving off the flag.
And it's a good step up by that wing official to come in and give you that information to get turn the light bulb on, basically. So that's good. That's what you want. Don't tell me about it in the locker room at halftime or after the game. Tell me right now when I can do something about it.
And even perhaps sometimes just the question is enough to just jog your memory.
Right.
Hey, wasn't it like this? And perhaps that is enough to make your internal instant replay pick it up and say that, yeah, you know what, you're right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's good job and upgrade for correct judgment by the line.
Very, very nice of him to save my bacon there. So the next item here is, now we've got the return going. We've got the line judge here covering. As the referee, I'm trying to get to the goal line. I'm also looking back to see the number of my fouling player. So I'm spending quite a bit of energy on that. And I'm trying to see the goal line out of the corner of my eye. And I make the mistake of stopping on the 5 instead of the goal line, which obviously is a mistake. But I'm still looking at the players. I don't have enough focus on the runner. So I don't see him doing that, which certainly looks a little bit like some showboating. And it also looks like it's live ball. In full speed, it can be difficult to see if it's live ball or dead ball, especially if it surprises you a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like it starts about the 3-yard line, and you said you're looking back to try and get a number instead of looking across the goal line.
Yeah.
I mean, you know it's going to be an obvious score, so that probably gave you that luxury to look back. But the short wing too, he had a potential blocker on the 10 or 12-yard line, and he still has his head turned into the inside. And neither one of you then get an opportunity to really see that the player did this.
No.
So could either of you, if your focus would have been different or better, possibly seen this, then to make the ruling at whether you would have flagged it because you saw it?
Yeah. Had I been on the goal line, had I had focus out there, I would have had the perfect angle to see if this was live ball or dead ball, and to see how big it was. I think we have a pretty good angle also on the end zone shot.
With that being the case, I think we're in agreement that this is not necessarily enough for a taunting call. I mean, he's really pushing it. It's not the best decision by this number 9 here, because he's really creating a situation where we have to call something, or at least, if we saw it, we would have to call something. But I think we're in agreement that this does not necessarily reach the level of a foul, right?
Right. Yeah, and I've told players is, hey, don't put it in my hands, because now you're stuck with what I do with it, So, doing a move like this, he's taking the chance that if I got a quick trigger finger tonight, he's going to get flagged. So don't put it in my hands. Just do it right.
I think if he had taken the ball and pointed back towards that defender, that would have taken it, over the edge.
Yeah.
All right.
Another point to make about the roughing the kicker situation is a philosophy that if multiple players come in, which we do have multiple players, and you're not sure which guy tipped the ball, or they're both in there with contact at the same time, we're not gonna get technical over 90 missed him, but 90 tipped the ball, but 86 hit him. If they're in there with that contact at the same time, it's going to, by philosophy, take them off the hook. We're not going to be over technical about it. It has to be the player that tipped the ball.
When they come in together like this, we're okay with one tipping the ball and the other one making contact.
Yeah.
When it's bang like this.
It's hard to differentiate who did what.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but if it's clearly obvious that the guy comes up the middle and makes the tip, and the guy coming in from the outside lays him out with no tip, then that's a flag.
Excellent. All right, excellent. Let's move on to the next play. All right, on this next play, first of all, we're looking at forward backward pass. We might be able to say it's thrown from right there, which is what, the 26, and maybe caught at the 27, maybe 26 and a half, where, like you say, Bill, if you know the call, you make the call, but if you have doubts, when the runner like this is reaching in front of him, it just looks like a forward pass. It's so much easier to sell.
Panic, but it's not where he caught it; it's where he touched it. So this is a forward pass. But if it's borderline at all, read your play. There's only one pass on the play. If it hits the ground, it's incomplete.
All right. In terms of keys, we've got trips here. So outside is the field judge, and then we've got the line judge and the back judge. Once the play develops, once we get to here, the wing needs to be able to read. Yeah, go ahead, Einar.
Yeah, when you see if you're the wing on this side, you're the line judge on this side, and you see the combination of everything happening here, the running back comes out, and that angle, that heading he has now, along with the quarterback turning around the way he does now, you know that this is likely to be a pass to the running back. And I personally kind of like moving into the opposite backfield pretty quickly when I read this, when I see the pin coming up like this, which is about, if you just let it go right there, you know that this is going to be something probably. move back into the opposite backfield to give you the best angle you can on that forward backward pass call.
Oh.
Because that's going to be a big call. I screwed up those calls in the past. I've also gotten to your right, and having a good angle sure helps.
Oh.
Yeah, for the back judge and the deep wing, it's a matter of nobody's being pressed, so you have a little bit of time to read this as zone. You know, you got a key, but go immediately into zone coverage. Go where there's action.
Yeah. If you're the back judge and you read the inside receiver there, you know, right now you can tell he's not running a route. He's coming out to block. And as back judge, you should also be able to read the rest of the receivers and running back. And this certainly looks like a screen. So you have to know that the wing is now going to the running back. So you also have to take responsibility for both of those guys blocking there.
Plenty of time to get into zone here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And right now you only have one contact, which starts on the side. So even though if he ended up in the back, that would still be fine. I don't think we have an issue with that, and the outside guy doesn't do a very good block either. But then we have an interesting situation here at the end. He goes down right around there, maybe 2 or 3 frames later, and the line to gain is the 40.
Yeah, if he's on bodies right there, he's technically not down. He does get to do a stretch out. But the question would be is, did that forearm of the free hand come down and touch the ground prior to him stretching the ball out to the 40? The short wing comes in, marks it short of the line of game. Their issue comes from the top of the screen when the official further away marks this at the 40 for a first down.
Yeah. It would be very, very difficult for the backside wing to get an accurate spot of this.
Now the point of contact between the ground and the runner is shielded from the linesman.
Yeah.
So I can absolutely understand that he has an idea in his mind that, ooh, was that a rollover? Maybe he should get more when he stretched out. But you can't really tell from this idea. There's only one good angle. That is the angle of the lineman pass. So it's okay to think and maybe even get on the radio perhaps and just ask, was that a rollover or something else that preferably you can communicate that in an understandable way to your wing partner. But the call still has to come from the line judge. He's the only one that has a decent view on this.
One of the things mechanically that pro or con on it is that the short wing here has the runner down short of the line of game. The wing at the top of the screen does have it for first down, but he's not killing the clock. So I'm wondering in his mind if he's aware of the line of game. If he really thought it was a first down, I'm surprised he wasn't stopping the clock. Or is he just thinking, well, it might be up here, So there probably is doubt from both sides of the field on this play.
Yeah. But bottom line is, if you don't know as a backside wing, you have to leave it with the calling official.
You need to match up with the guy who's marking the spot then.
Yeah, the backside wing can help in a number of situations, but it's always a help. It's just an offer. I got something for you.
Yeah.
If you need it, I got a spot for you. For example, in a cross-field mechanics situation,
Yeah.
it's an offer, but it's sort of up to the official with the play in his area if he wants to accept your offer or not.
Excellent. With that, let's move on to the third play and the last play. All right, so in this last play, we're looking, as you can see, it's another punt. We're looking at really good movement and mechanics by our back judge. So we've got a short kick, and the punt returner comes up, and then it's recovered by somebody other than the punt returner. The back judge comes up, and we'll see why this is a dead ball. So right there, we've got got the punt returner coming up, pointing, and his point then turns into a wave. And Einar, you had a great way of putting this.
Yeah, it's not actually my way. It is the way. It is the Mofo way. Mofo is pretty good in helping us out to make this call. And basically, what it says that is that if you're pointing at the ball and you don't have your hands above your shoulders, but you're pointing at the ball, which is what he does here. You can see that pretty well here. That is not a signal. So this is okay. This is not a signal. It's not an invalid signal. But what he can't do is a wave like that, this getaway thing. Now that is a signal. So we have an example of a signal that we ignore, and then you have an example of an invalid fair catch signal. This is that wave signal. So it's a good example of both.
Yeah.
So and a really, really good job by the back judge in shutting it down. Now we don't have much of a return here, so it dies almost at the same time. But I really like the back judge, his hustle. When you shut down a play unexpectedly, you have to make sure you're really, you do it forcefully with the whistle, body language, signals, all the things. And I think the back judge does a really nice job with that.
Yeah, and what's critical to that is that other officials don't know anything about this guy's signal. So they're expecting maybe this play is going to stay live when he picks it up. So that back judge picking up it going from a legal point to keep the ball live to the wave off, which now will create the dead ball on the recovery. That's important for the rest of the crew. And then you have the second issue. Well, the guy ran with the ball a little bit, and then he got hit. Are you going to call delay a game? Are you going to call a late hit here? And I think we'd agree the answer to that is neither one. None of these other players knew the ball was going to be dead. So that action of picking it up, starting to take some steps, and then being tackled, that's a nothing. Just spot the ball and move on.
Yeah. Also, I think the back judge does a good job here of recognizing that as soon as the punt returner starts moving forward, he needs to move forward too, because that's where the action is going to be. It's going to be a short kick. And you can tell, by the way, that he's running from this angle, he's running to his left, is because he's already seen from the kick where approximately the ball is going to come down. So he's putting himself, actually he's a little bit wide there. He's trying to put himself in a good position to get up to cover the ball. And from this angle also, he's doing a good job, doing the best he can to get up to cover the ball, because potentially, the ball is going to come down short and it's going to hit somebody. And now we've got a whole bit of trouble if it hits a white player. Now all of a sudden, it's a live ball. Or if it hits a black player, now it's live for white. So
yeah, it's a white player. It's illegal touching, which also is, of course, of great interest.
Yes. So he needs to hustle all he can to get into position to cover that kick, because everybody is expecting him to cover it. Of course, they're also expecting him to do it 30 yards further down the field, but he does a good job of coming up to cover everything here.
Yeah, I applaud this hustle. I'm telling you, it's become a lost art seeing back judges do anything except kill grass deep down the middle of the field. Being able to move forward, being able to move left and right like a windshield wiper, that's a key skill for a back judge. Yeah. Excellent.
That was our 3 plays. If anybody has any feedback to how we could make these better, let us know. Contact one of us, and we'll continue to make these training tapes for at least the remainder of this season. But of course, if we can make them better, that would be even better. Anything else from you guys before we call it a day?
No, it was fun watching these plays, good interaction, and look forward to some more.
Excellent.
Agreed.